Members of the Texas Senate unanimously voted yesterday to reform the flawed impeachment process that was so horrendously abused by the Texas House in the last legislative session. This is Thursday, April 24th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Hey, thanks for spending part of your Thursday here with the Texas Minute. Legislation was advanced in the Senate yesterday that would require the use of E-Verify in the Lone Star State. More on that coming up. Amid concerns about the impact of school choice legislation on the homeschooling community, a measure to codify established homeschool freedoms received a public hearing yesterday in the Texas House Committee on Public Education. The measure by State Representative David Cook of Mansfield would prohibit any state regulation on homeschooling. The Republican said his legislation builds on the landmark 1994 Texas Supreme Court decision in Lepper v. Arlington ISD, which held that homeschooling is a legal and legitimate form of education. The Texas House took a step toward reinforcing the role of parents in their children's mental health care, adopting an amendment yesterday that ensures state-funded services can't be used to promote social gender transitioning in minors in rural hospitals. The amendment was offered on the House floor by Republican Steve Toth of Conroe. He said the amendment was necessary to address what he called a growing trend of mental health providers, quote, alienating children from their families. The amendment prevents rural hospitals that receive funding from offering any services or treatments related to social gender transitioning of minors. Toth emphasized that the goal is not to stigmatize children, but to protect them from being led away from the people who love them most. Despite long delays brought on by Democrats trying to stop it, Toth's amendment passed with a party line 88-55 vote. The legislation requires one more procedural vote in the House before moving to the Senate. Two quick items before the break. By a vote of 6-4, the Senate's Business and Commerce Committee has advanced legislation authored by Republican Lois Colcourt of Brenham that would require the use of E-Verify in the Lone Star State. This is considered a key tool in combating human trafficking and the employment of illegal aliens. Meanwhile, the Texas Lottery has been accused of being a money laundering scheme for foreign syndicates with the aid of lottery officials. A new report, though, shows that even the scratch-off tickets have been subject to a particular kind of unsportsmanlike conduct by entrenched interests profiting off the financial illiteracy of the typical lottery player. The Texas Minute will be right back.
Are you worried about your kid's future? You should be. I'm Charles Blaine with Texas Tomorrow. This is a show where we're going to talk about the issues and the people that are pushing the policies that concern your family, your home, and your kids. Catch Texas Tomorrow every Thursday.
To address flaws exposed during the 2023 impeachment of Attorney General Ken Paxton, the Texas Senate unanimously adopted reforms yesterday that must now be approved by the House. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick became a vocal critic of the House's handling of the Paxton impeachment after the trial concluded. He pledged to overhaul the process to ensure fairness and transparency. Patrick also criticized former House Speaker Dade Phelan for what he described as a rushed and opaque process, noting that it took over 18 months for Texans to learn that the impeachment cost taxpayers more than $5.1 million. Among the reforms pushed by the Senate is a requirement that all testimony in an impeachment case must be sworn to by the witnesses. It also would require that House members be given 72 hours to review evidence before floor deliberations and an additional 72 hours after deliberations before a final vote. Senators also adopted a constitutional amendment that will ensure impeached state officeholders continue to receive their regular pay while proceedings are ongoing. This addresses the situation in which Comptroller Glenn Hager withheld approximately $50,000 of Paxton's pay during the impeachment without providing back pay following the acquittal. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Aaron Anderson, Brandon Waltons, Daniel Greer, and Sidney Henry. Our producer is Nick Shepard. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.